channel. I'm Rachel.
I'm Nikki, and we're the Stitch Sisters.
Yes, we are. We're the long lost Stitch Sisters at the moment because
Social distancing sisters.
I'm in mine. Social distancing Stitch Sisters. Yeah. So we wanted to find a way to bring you a video whilst we're all social distancing, and thanks to the wonders of modern technology, this is clearly the way to do it. And this is how we've been seeing all the interviews on the news and everything. So suddenly Skype and video calls is the new normal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfectly acceptable now not to actually see people face to face.
Yeah, and it means we get to have a catch up, because I know we've been chatting for days, but we haven't had a proper sit down and catch up.
No, we haven't, not for a while. And in fact, I don't think I've actually seen you in live flesh for at least 3 or 4 days. It's so weird. And we know that you're all going through exactly the same thing. You're missing your friends, you're missing your family.
Yeah.
You're stuck at home. Well, not stuck at home. We're saying you're safe at home now, not stuck at home.
Yeah. Yes. That's the way to look at it. That's what we've been trying to do is kind of just focus on the positives, really, because it is hard. Although I have to be completely honest, I have definitely found it harder this second week. I think the first week there was kind of like a novelty factor, and it just felt like a weekend. We were also finishing off our new class and getting that all sorted, so still very busy with work, and so it kind of didn't feel too bad, really. And then this week I have struggled a little bit, not with it being a difficult week, but just with realizing quite how long we might be in this situation for. And that kind of whole unknown end date, which I'm sure we're all experiencing. If we had like a finite figure to put on it and could say, right, this is how it's going to be for 6 weeks, 12 weeks, however long. I think we'd all just get on with it. But it's that kind of, how long exactly is it going to be? And that's been freaking me out a little bit. But like I said, there's lots and lots of positives to focus on.
Yes.
How have you been feeling?
I've been kind of, wondrously, I deal well in a massive crisis. Anything that is beyond my control, I'm fine. So because there's nothing I can do. All I can do is keep my family safe. I can keep us safe. So I am fairly high spirited at the moment. It's all okay. You know how I love being at home anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like lockdown is like, yes. And I'm just sort of concentrating on the positives.
Yes.
So we're all here, we're all together,
we're
all well, and we're all safe, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I've been doing the same. I've just been, you kind of start to really, really appreciate all the really important things, don't you? Which is family, and the fact that we all still have our health for now, and all of our extended family does as well. So fingers crossed that continues. And I've just been feeling really grateful that we live in a rural village where we get to go on really long walks. We've had sunshine quite a lot, which helps, because I think for me that's definitely a mood booster. Even if it's through the windows, it's still it definitely lifts my spirits for the sun to be shining. In fact, I'm going to be glowing through. It has been a very relaxed wardrobe. I'm sure you're the same. So t-shirts and jeans, trackies, sweatshirts, jumpers seems to be the new normal. I've done very little. Today is the second day since I think the second time since in the last week that I put lippy on. Yeah,
I think it's sort of my third. But I've done it a couple of times because other things were happening. But actually, I've done it once or twice just for myself. Yeah. Sort of catching myself in the mirror and going, "Oh my God, gotta sort that out." So just giving yourself 10 minutes to kind of moisturize and just put a little bit of something on just to brighten your mood is always it's useful as well. But I have got dressed every day. I've brushed my hair, I've brushed my teeth, I've put makeup on if I've wanted to, and that's as much of an effort as I want to make. But I'm still doing that. I haven't had a pajama day. I haven't stayed in my pajamas all day, and I think that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think it's helped. Obviously, we're homeschooling the kids. sure many of you guys are as well, and it helps because their day needs to start at a specific time, and they need to be up and showered and dressed, and there needs to be a routine for them. And it would feel really hypocritical if we were then just lounging around in our pajamas for the whole day. So it just means that everybody needs to get up and get ready for the day. And I do think that's an important kind of mental sort of almost like line in the sand that you have to draw. Like you say, it's a slippery slope, and it's easy to get caught up with just kind of like seeing it as a perpetual weekend, and that's really what it is, because there needs to be a difference between the weekdays and the weekends, so you can still enjoy a more relaxed version where you really don't have to worry about those kind of things. But I have for now been enjoying putting more comfy casual clothes on and not wearing any makeup. I've let my hair do its natural thing, and I've decided to stop dyeing it for the whole time that we're in this situation, because I've always been curious quite how grey it would be if I just grew it out. So I'm going to do that. But I think if you're making those kind of conscious decisions, if they're choices, so I've been doing my self-care in other ways. So I haven't been putting on makeup, but I have been spending a lot more time on my skincare routine, and I've been moisturising my whole body and that sort of thing. So whereas I might have spent more time on doing my face, I've decided to spend it on other things. So I think as long as you're looking after yourself and you're giving yourself what you need, then it doesn't really matter how you do it. But I do know that there is going to come a time for me, because I do think for me, how I dress and my wardrobe and what I sew and all that kind of stuff is very, very closely linked to my mental health. And I know so when the novelty of, can just be really comfy wears off, I will start making more of an effort to get dressed, even though I'm not going anywhere, and to put different outfits on, because I know that the way that I dress can help elevate my mood. And when I need it, I'll definitely be doing it. And posting pictures or doing whatever else, just because I think it's not about anybody seeing you. It never has been really. It's just about making
your mood
good.
Yeah. But I think once the weather's actually a bit nicer, then I'll probably do a bit more of that. It's like you said, it's still a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
Until the novelty wears off. And you know me, I like wearing my jeans anyway, but I think for me it's going to be until the weather gets a bit warmer. And if the weather gets a bit warmer, I'll maybe start wearing skirts, I'll start wearing lighter trousers, I'll start maybe putting a dress on, something like that. So we'll see. We might have to do 30 days of dresses in quarantine this year.
But I do think that I've got such a long kind of sew list now that if for no other reason, I'm going to want to wear the things that I'm making. So we both bought fabric, didn't we, when we saw this coming? We kind of
quarantine fabric.
So if for no other reason, we're going to have to get dressed to wear our new things.
Although I haven't been sewing much. Have you? Have you done any sewing at all?
I have. I've been sewing in the last week, but I've kind of been tiptoeing into it. So actually, I brought some things up to show you. So I've got two pairs of Portobello trousers cut out, Nina Lee Portobello trousers cut out. I haven't sewn them yet, but these are my fabrics. So they're both a jersey stretch crepe, which is just basically like slightly posher tracksuit bottoms. So I've got this lovely like yellow. Well, it's kind of chartreuse, but it's on the yellow side than the green. So that's one pair, and then I've got this gorgeous turquoise blue as well. So I'm making a pair. These are just the scraps left over from my cutouts, which I'm going to do some sort of colour blocking with. I don't know what yet. But so I've got those two cut out, and I'm planning on getting them sewn up this week, just because I don't put fastening in them. I just do them as pull-on like jogging bottoms. But because they've pleats in the front, then they're wide leg, they're a bit more, they're nice hybrid. They don't feel as casual as trackies, but they're as comfy as trackies. So can you even see me anymore? Because I'm glowing.
I can see just your dark hair. You're like an angel. Well, I've been doing a little bit of hand sewing, funnily enough, like me. So let me show you.
Show me your hand sewing. The rainbow
together. Look,
so much.
I'm so pleased with it. It was like I knew this was going to happen, because I've been making hexagons and I've been making flowers for maybe, I don't know, 6 months. And then literally 3 days into quarantine, I just went, right, we're sewing them together today. And it started happening. So I'm really pleased with it. I think they look stunning together. It's all such bright colours. Matches my jumper.
Jumper with your rainbow quilt. See,
I know.
Just concentrate on rainbows, we'll all be fine.
Yes, it'll be fine. That's how I'm getting through this. One rainbow at a time.
I've been doing a little bit of hand sewing as well, but my sentiment might be a little bit at the other end of the scale. It is going to involve a lot of colour, and I will just say now to anybody that is offended by naughty words, then you might just want to look away for a moment. This is the embroidery project that I decided to start. But I wanted to do something that kind of expressed how I was feeling.
Yes.
It gave me something to do in the evening. So everything around it is going to be bright and colourful, and that's going to become less and less obvious. And it will be one of those things.
Yeah.
You look at it and you go, "Oh, that's pretty. What's that? Oh, okay." So the other thing I sewed is I made some cushions. So
I saw them on Insta.
The mountain block that you taught in one of our classes at Sodbury Sewing School.
Yeah.
Well, I found your PDF instructions, and so I made a couple
beautiful.
Of and I've had this fringe in my stash for ages.
Yeah.
So this is the leftover fabrics from our boho patchwork skirts, the art gallery ones. So I made 2 of these, and they've just got a lap zip in the back at the top there, which you can learn how to do in our cushion class. And yeah, I just put the fringe in instead of piping.
Yeah.
So just added
very full.
I got a bit carried away because I didn't know how many I needed.
Yeah.
And, so I've got 8 more half square triangles to make. I could make cushions. So I don't know if you want some, but I'll happily make some for you.
Yes, make me some. I've actually found cushion pads.
Oh, excellent.
So I think I've got some cushion pads. So I'll fill them. You make them. I'll fill them.
Excellent. So these are this is just calico. This is just my toiling calico.
Oh.
But I wanted it to have quite a rustic look. I think they're quite anthropology.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I'm bigging them up in my mind, but
they're posh boho. That's what they are.
Yeah. Exactly. So we've done sewing. Oh no, more on sewing. So have you got any patterns? Because I have bought a few recently with plans to make them. So you already know that I bought the Dawn jeans from Megan Hill because you printed them off for me, and I've bought the flares from Trend Patterns, which we mentioned in our autumn trends videos. But then this week I've also bought the Jackie trousers from By Hand London.
Okay.
Seems to be all about trousers for me.
Yeah.
And I think because for me, trousers fitting is always a big issue, and it takes me ages to sew. I can't just knock off a pair of trousers. I have to, if it's a new pattern, I have to do all the fit adjustments first. I just feel like I have more time for that now, so it makes sense to go and modify a number of different patterns that I can use from now on. But then the other one is I've downloaded the zero waist top from Sewcial. I never know how to say that.
Sewcial patterns, yeah.
And it's just an unusual kind of, it's got like a drawstring or elastic channel in a curve at the front, but it's got angles, and I've got lemon yellow sweatshirt fabric that I just thought would be really fun to play around with that. So
nice.
What about you?
I bought, well, I've basically gone through our spring summer trends video and picked out all the patterns that I really wanted.
Yeah.
So I've bought the Liberty boho maxi dress.
Yeah.
So I've bought that, and I also bought the I can't remember, you know me, my memory, the skirt, the Western style skirt, which was
the Romeo
one, Romeo I am patterns, and I also bought the high-waisted trousers, the paper bag trousers that I liked as well. I can't remember what they were either. They were
Victor pants.
Victor patterns.
Lenoline.
Victor Pants by Lenoline Patterns. Well done. We would normally, on a normal week, we would cut that so that I looked as if I remembered everything. But this is now quarantine time, and you get to see the state of my perimenopausal brain. I can't even remember my name, never mind anyone else's. So that's all I've bought so far. But like I said, I haven't actually started anything. I did buy some coating fabrics as well from Fabrics Galore. So I've bought some beautiful yellow mustard teddy bear fabric that I want to make Oh, it's the most gorgeous thing. I may actually just keep it as a blanket and just wrap myself in it. But I think I want to make a coat out of it. So, but I think like a short line teddy bear jacket kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's something really simple that I can knock up. And I also bought this kind of magenta pink tweed as well, that I was thinking I might make some other kind of simple jacket from, but probably have that lined. But also I've lost my sewing room.
Yeah.
So my husband is now working from home, and because he is basically on back-to-back video calls all day, he is in my sewing room because it's got good Wi-Fi connection and you can close the door. You can't really have us walking past making tea in the background or anything like that. So I feel a little bit disjointed. I feel like I've lost where I would go and do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird. So I think that's maybe why I'm concentrating on other things instead of the sewing just now. I spent 4 hours yesterday attacking my basement, which after the flood that we had a couple of weeks ago, looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie. So I went down there and sorted it all out, and it looks beautiful. But there's about 4 other rooms down there that also need the same kind of attention.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just kind of busying myself with those things at the moment.
I was just thinking this weekend, because I think you can make it worse by putting a load of pressure on yourself. So and just because you've made these plans doesn't mean you have to stick to them. Doesn't mean that you have to then kind of introduce a whole load of stress by saying, oh, I wanted to have made this and this by now. It's
no,
we're totally on our own time. So I was just thinking I might get as far as sticking together some of these PDF patterns.
Okay.
And that's, baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you can't cut fabric till you've got the pattern, and you can't sew anything to cut the fabrics. So there's a lot of prep work that needs doing, and sometimes that's a good way for me to get my head in the game. It's just like, right, just deal with the prep first of all, a little bit at a time. Next thing
I've not even printed mine yet. So I need to print them first, and then I can stick them together. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll start by getting them printed before the weekend, and I'll go from there.
Make yourself a list. You know you love ticking things off.
I do.
So you can
I thought you just
print patterns at the top of the list. It'll take you 10 seconds, and then you can tick it off.
I thought I'd misheard you, and I thought you said you know how you love ticking things off.
Chicken things. I love
chicken things. So I was thinking chicken things. What are you talking about? Again, this would normally be cut out.
It'd be very low editing, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
And that's sewing done. What else have you been doing? Have you been watching anything new?
I have been. Well, I've been struggling a little bit with watching too much news. And so to counteract that, I have been going back and rewatching Portrait Artist of the Year, because it could not be further from where we are, but it gives me such joy, and it's like someone giving me a gentle massage while I'm just wandering around the house. It's such a gentle, beautiful program that really calms me, so I've been indulging in that at the moment. So I may well just end up just rewatching it again. Just enjoying it. But I definitely needed something which was a complete counterbalance to what I was seeing on the news. So something very different. I've also been listening to Elton John again, so it's singing and dancing and twirling around the kitchen and things like that. So I've been doing that.
Didn't we, just before we got put into lockdown, we had an evening together, and we just got some takeaways, and we're having a few drinks, and we were playing some music, and we played a lot of Elton John that night, didn't we? And
we did, yes.
Head ever since.
Yeah, I think it's been tickling away at me. So I'm going to watch
Elton John. That sounds like a great way to start that. So I have. I've just binged season 18 of Project Runway, because I hadn't watched it, and I knew Making the Cut was coming to Amazon, and I wanted to. I don't know why, I just felt like I needed to be up to date with Project Runway before watching Making the Cut. So I really, really, really enjoyed that season, actually. And I have to say, I know at the time I was a little bit worried about new presenters and everything else, but I'm totally in love with Christian Siriano as the new mentor, because whereas Tim was always nice, can be quite bitchy sometimes, and I just find it hilarious. And he's just really funny. So I really enjoyed that. And I think because they knew Making the Cut was coming, they kind of pumped a bit more into the budget for this last season as well.
Okay.
So everything seemed to be bigger and better. And but then I watched the first 2 episodes of Making the Cut yesterday, and it is a whole different level. I mean,
it?
Insane, like the money there. So basically, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but they've changed the location to Paris, and they've set up this amazing studio, like an atelier.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do their own sewing. They're designers, so they're all established brands, and they just want to grow their brands because the prize is $1 million.
Wow.
And every week, whoever's design wins, it gets reproduced and sold on Amazon. So they're making money sort of straight away.
Yeah.
So it's the weirdest thing because suddenly it's like money is no object. They did their first catwalk outside in Paris, outside the Eiffel Tower. Like they had the glowing Eiffel Tower, like literally positioned perfectly at the end of the runway.
Oh, wow.
I don't even want to imagine what they spent on making it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is really, really interesting. If you're interested in the more business side of fashion rather than just the sewing side, because they basically have to produce tech packs for the seamstresses to work on overnight. So they provide them with a list of instructions and pattern pieces, and they do the cutting and marking and everything. And then they put it in a bag, and then it gets taken to the seamstresses overnight, and they have to follow their instructions. And if you've not written them out well enough or explained yourself well enough, what you get back isn't necessarily what you wanted.
Right.
And I find that whole thing quite stressful, that whole idea of relinquishing control to someone else who can't quite picture what it is that you're trying to create.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's really fascinating. I would recommend it. But
it's on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. They've only released, because it only came out last Friday, I think.
Right.
They've only released the first 2 episodes, and I think it's weekly after that. So you could always wait till you've got them all to binge on. But it is good. Cool. Well, to be honest, I think that's enough of a break from homeschooling. I need to go and check that my kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, me too. I better go and check what the dog's barking at, because it should be annoying my husband.
Yeah, okay. But we hope you enjoyed catching up with us, guys. I've loved catching up with you, my darling. And then, you know, we'll see if we can come up with some new ways that we can do YouTube in the next weeks. There won't be regular videos, but we'll just do what we can and hopefully check in with you every now and then. But if you've any ideas about what we can do when we're in different houses, then make sure you leave a comment below and let us know.
And we do want to hear from you to make sure you guys are all okay. I've been thinking a lot about you all around the world, so please leave a little message, give us a little thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Just so we know that you're okay and that you're coping and stuff like that. It'll make us feel better.